talk about something that has been in the works for 7 years, 6 years. I don't
I would
know.
say 2018, so it's 2024 now. What's that? 6 years.
6 years, new growth. So how this came about, Asia and I were sitting in my living room in Laurel, Maryland, and we stayed up all night talking about topics and things we wanted to discuss. And then by the end of the night, it may have been early morning, we said, we're going to call it New Growth.
Yep.
And so that's why we're here to bring this baby, this project to the forefront and discuss things that are often not talked about, things that are near and dear to our heart, and things that other people may want to hear information on or whatever it may be. So I'll go first by introducing myself. I'm Toni Rivers, of course. I am currently a licensed clinical social worker working as a child and family therapist. I have 3 boys, I'm married, and I currently live in the state of Maryland.
Girl, what am I supposed to say? Well, I'm Asia Lovelace. I am a teacher here in Atlanta, Georgia. I just moved to Atlanta, Georgia a year ago. I am not married and I do not have any children, so I'm out here in this Atlanta world doing this Atlanta dating life. So we want to tell them a little bit about why we started New Growth, or do we want to get into how we met? Because I think it's a cool story. I think we should let the people know the different perspectives that we have on how we met.
Yes, let's talk about how we met.
Okay, you want me to start it off, or you start it off?
You can start it
All
off.
right, so I just remember because we graduated in 2011. By the way, everybody, we're from the same hometown. We went to the same high school.
Yes.
I chalk it up to us being in the 10th grade at Booker T. Washington High. Okay, we had honors classes together because we're smart and we were educated at the time. And I want to say that I met Toni before the class, but I didn't have real conversations with her like in depth until we end up having this lady named Miss Gleason, who was our English honors teacher. And I want to say we probably were, how many? Probably 2 out of 4 of this color in there. And I think we just kind of automatically glued together because of that. And then we have a mutual best friend. Her name is Allison. Shout out to Allison. And she met Toni way before I even had her in the English class. And so that kind of brought us together. And we formed a bond. We ended up being a secret Santa in the group one day, and I ended up pulling her as my secret Santa. And I just remember buying you these t-shirts out of Rave.
I forgot all about that.
I think I was like, I don't know what I'm going to get her. And was it Rave or Body Central then?
It was one of those, but I forgot all about that. Yes, you were.
And
I was your, yes.
Yeah, you were my secret Santa. And then I want to say, were you into Bow Wow?
Because didn't you give me like a Bow Wow or Chris Brown CD or something?
Yeah. Because I remember it being a red and green shirt because they had buy one, get the other one, and then the CD.
Yes.
Yeah.
You did. Oh my goodness.
That's how I remember us meeting. And then Secret Santa kind of forced us to have our own thing outside of meeting with Allison, and then us being in the same class. And then we had this one fun moment because I was like a not teacher's pet, but very much under a big person at the high school, like her little mini me. And so I kind of had free time to get out of class and chill in her office every once in a while. And I remember you coming in her office with me, and we played this little game. Do you remember that game?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We were so weird. We should have known that we were going to be friends then, because who does that?
You're right.
We were, if I can't even explain the game because it didn't make any sense. I think we wrote random words on the paper, and we told a story, and you had to respond by circling one of the words on the paper. And I ended up saying
Yes.
something, Lord, I cannot remember what I said. You circled it, we just bust out laughing. And then that mentor at the time, she was encouraging college, talking about college over the years, and we happened to attend the same university, and we've been stuck like two peas in a pod since.
Absolutely, yes. Florida A&M, the Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University. So me and Asia both graduated from the same high school, and we went to college together. And so that was all she wrote. My story is so different because I remember I met Asia as a little kid, maybe, I don't know, elementary school age in Pensacola Village. I had family out there. I no longer lived out there. I did live out there at one point. I moved away around 5 years old, but I would still go out there because I had so many family members. And Asia was one of the kids, the neighborhood girls, and we would play. And she does not remember it at all.
Absolutely.
And that is so strange to me. Even my brother remembers her. My cousin, we were raised like sisters. She remembers her. And so I remember telling her, like, you remember Asia that we used to play with in the village? She's like, yeah. I said, she does not even know who we are. No. She didn't even remember us at all. No. And so that was my recollection of our meeting. But of course, we didn't become friends until, like Asia said, 10th grade, Miss Gleason, English honors. And we have been friends ever since. She's the godmother to my children. Well, the last two was kind of like they were doctored in to be her godchildren. Because it started with Ethan, and she has been there ever since. And so it's been fun. It's been a journey. And that is how we met and how we are still stuck together. So let's talk about New Growth. How did that come about?
Before you move on to New Growth, I did want to say that the only thing that I remember from the childhood, like when you tell the story, and I hear you say this all the time, I can only picture me playing outside with a group of girls in front of the C building in this one case. But you always say, that's not us. But I'm like, it had to be y'all, because the only people I played in the village with was my cousins. So I feel like that was y'all, but I can only remember us playing outside one time. It was like maybe 3 or 4 girls that I was playing with.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, this is crazy. It goes into perspective, right, and memories. That could very well be true for you, and then my recollection could be true for me. Who knows the real story, or, you know, what actually happened, being that we're going off memory from how long ago? 20 plus years.
Hey, don't get on different moves
and different moves and life events. And so, yeah, that's interesting.
Okay. But yeah, I would go back to what you were saying about the New Growth. What was the question?
How do we get into it? And we'll end it there. And what are we doing with this? Why is this important to us?
Okay, so we decided to do this show and podcast. We already said why we decided. Well, we said how we found it. We didn't say truly what did we want to offer with it. Basically, right. You and I are living two grateful and what I consider glamorous lives in this all natural way. And a lot of things that you and I talk about from different perspectives, we do agree on, but we do have some disagreements. But I think our point of views and how we're navigating life at this age is something that we can share with the world, because it's normally just you and I talking. And normally we'll be like, hey, I wonder if other people are thinking what we're thinking, or if they're going through the same things that we're going through, or, you know, what platform do we have people like us leading lives? Because it's very hard to be friends at this age and all the stuff that we have going on. So I think patting ourselves on the back with just that, and then having topics about things that's all over the world, whether we can relate to it or not, just being there for one another and having a full sisterhood. So I think that's what I wanted to do with New Growth. I think we have beautiful minds, and it just needs to be tapped into and shared with the world. What about you?
I mean, I don't really have anything left to say. I agree. We have many, many conversations. We can go weeks or months without talking. I can't say months.
I was about to say, hold on now.
Weeks without talking. Maybe weeks, and then we'll be on the phone for 2 hours.
Catching up.
And it's crazy. We'll start with like, oh yeah, you know, what did you do? Or I got this, I got that, or talk about the boys and just family. Next thing you know, we're in a deep conversation for the last hour of the conversation. And I don't know how we ever get there, but that's why we're like, okay, we have to do new growth because we continue to do this every time we talk, every time we get together. And it's important, like I said at the very beginning, is that, other people need to hear these conversations. I know it would be beneficial for them, whether they are in our shoes, if you may have someone who's married with children and then you have the friend who's not. Just talking about how we never navigate the world and our circumstances, I think it's beneficial. And so that's what new growth is about, and you hear our story. For me, it was little girls. But at some point, we were not where we are now. And so just talking about the growth in our mind and our experiences from college to grad school, marriage, different dating experiences, navigating family members, understanding different things about that, just generational curses and everything in between. And so that's what we're going to do with this.
I was going to say, and then while we have all that, we also got our fun stuff. Because me and you, we dive into television shows. We talk about some of the craziest things, who's living a little bit more on the wild side. Like when it comes to celebrities, we talk about all that, whether we agree with it or we disagree with it. I'm very big into social media. She is too, but I keep her in the loop on those things. So those are some of the topics that we'll be bringing into. But I want to say the big foundation is us forging our bond and our friendship. So with this show, they'll be able to see why we are glued to each other as much as we are throughout time and throughout all the things that we've been going through individually. How do we keep that bond as tight as we do? And I think that by the time they're done watching this, then they'll be more bought into who we are as Toni and Asia.
Yep, I agree. And so I don't think there's nothing left to say. Stay tuned. I look forward to chatting about things from life to celebrity to fashion, because Asian is a fashionista. I remember, what was that? Yes, you are. No. She can put something together so quick, and I'm like, I get lost. I get lost in motherhood and just not doing things. I work from home, and I'm like, I don't know what I need to wear. I can easily text Asia. She's like, boom, 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 3 outfits. You can get it from here, or I seen this place and that place, and so it's just so many things we can talk about from our different perspectives. So stay tuned, and also let us know some things you would like to hear about, so we can discuss that too. And so I think that's it.
And while you're here at our YouTube channel, go ahead and like and subscribe to our videos if you can. That way you can get notified every time that we post. Anything else, Toni?
Nope, nothing else.
All right, peace out.